All right, what is up? Welcome to Ferrell Swim Tech, my friends. This is the show that is broadcast live to Team Zoot and is recorded and cross-posted to other social media and other areas. So my name is John Ferrell. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the swim show where I use my 15-plus years of competition experience and 10 years of private coaching experience in order to help you swim faster. So tonight's topic will be body positioning. Body positioning is something that is very hard for people to comprehend. It's very hard for people to understand. More importantly, it is very hard for people to fix unless you kind of know the root causes and things that you have to overcome before you really start diving in and fixing that the body positioning issues. Remember, this is a live stream. If you're watching this live, please comment if you're watching this on a VOD on Facebook. If you have any questions whatsoever, hit it up in the comments. Just pop a comment wherever you have a question. I will watch the comment section, respond to them. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit me up in the comment section as well. Also, more than welcome to shoot me an email, theferrell@gmail.com. If you have requests for virtual swim stroke technique sessions, you got any questions whatsoever about swimming, gear, technique, I don't really give sets. I can give you ideas in order to, get better at a certain, how to get your pace faster. I got ideas. I don't have specific sets. I don't give workouts. That's simply not what I do. I give you ideologies and ideas to use and integrate into your own training plans and to discuss with your coach. I am not here to supersede your coach. I am here to give you best practices and things that have helped me personally obtain All-American status as a high schooler, swim for Brigham Young for 4 years, become a Scholastic All-American in NCAA Division I. So these are things that I have proven works through my own technique, and I have the times to back it up. And I want to use this to help you get faster. If this helps you, fantastic. If it doesn't, let me know what's not working for you. Maybe we'll find an alternate strategy. I can help you out there. So let's get on to the topic at hand tonight. The topic at hand tonight is body positioning. What is body positioning? Body positioning is commonly referred to as how you sit in the water. Water level's here. Your body wants to be right at the top of the level. You can't be above the water because then you'll be floating. You want to be on top of the water as unsubmerged as you possibly can. What we want to avoid two things. Number one, we want to avoid our body being lower in the water. We want our head to be right on the surface. We want our butt to be right on the surface. And we want our feet to be kicking right on the surface. Those are the 3 points of contact we want to have. Now, usually it's easiest to get your head on the surface, okay? I'll discuss why in a few minutes. Harder to get your butt on the surface because that means you have to have good swimming posture. Getting your feet on the surface is the hardest one unless you totally cheat and bend your knees like crazy. We don't want to bend our knees. We want to have nice straight legs so then that feet pops the surface every single time we do the up kick and then down kick. All right? So, why is body positioning so hard? Why is it hard for the average person getting into triathlon, hopping in the pool? Why is it so hard to understand correct body positioning? Okay. First thing we need to understand is we need to understand the root cause of poor body positioning. I would say roughly 70-80% of the time, it's because the person is inexperienced and they are somewhat afraid of the water. Now, let me explain this concept. This is very important to understand, and we talked about this fairly, quite a bit of time when we talked about breathing. But humans are innately afraid of the water. Why are we afraid of the water? Well, it's very easy to die in water. Okay? It's not pretty. It's not a good thing to think about. Trust me, I had a niece who drowned at a very early age. It's not fun to think about, but it's true. There is an innate fear in all of us of being underwater, suffocating, drowning, dying. Okay? That's a fact of life. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. I'm not here to, make this sound easier. That's just a fact. Okay? I have spent literal years, full entire years of my life at this point underwater. I have overcome about 90% of my fears underwater. I still get a little spooked every once in a while, especially when I'm swimming open water. I'm not that used to swimming open water. I go surfing, I go wakeboarding, wake surfing. I do everything in the water. Swimming in the open water with nothing but a wetsuit still gives me the heebie-jeebies, just a little bit. I gotta calm myself down and say this is just a gigantic pool I'm swimming in that has sharks and jellyfish. Oh my. Jellyfish are the number one thing that scares me. I've said this before. Sharks do not scare me. Jellyfish scare the crap out of me. Though I can't. No. I would nope out of a race so hard if I saw jellyfish. I'd be like, nope, I'm done. I'm out of here. Anyway, moving on. So because of this, why is this such a problem? Why is this innate fear of water such a problem for our body positioning? Well, what we want to do innately, our instinct, is to get our head, to have a visual of body positioning. I could probably Google it, maybe something you'd like to point to. I will show a video of myself swimming 100 freestyle, and I will point out good body positioning. Just give me a minute. Let me get through this theoretical item first, and then when we actually talk about how to get the correct body positioning, I'll show that video. But thanks for bringing that up, Aaron. So we got to overcome this fear of being in the water. The reason why this is bad is because if we are afraid of the water, our head wants to be as close to the surface as we possibly can. This is why beginner swimmers usually bring their head up and then to the side. They're not comfortable just bringing their head to the side. They bring it up to the side and then back down, okay? So that's number one. You got to understand if you have poor body positioning, you need to have an honest internal discussion. Unless you're like me and you monologue verbally. I legitimately monologue verbally. That's how I go over what I'm going to talk about these things. I literally just talk about it in the car as I'm driving around town. So you need to have an honest discussion with yourself. If you have really bad body positioning, you need to determine if you are still kind of afraid of the water, okay? If you have that discussion with yourself and you can honestly say, yes, swimming in the deep end of the pool still kind of spooks me out. I legitimately have panic attacks every time I do a major open water swim. I see posts like this all the time in triathlete groups, especially beginner triathlete groups. People talk about totally having massive panic attacks, having to quit it right at the beginning of the open water swim. You need to be honest with yourself. This is step number one to fixing this problem. Be honest with yourself. Are you comfortable in the water? If you're not, here's what you do. You need to work on being comfortable under the water, because that's the thing that scares the most people. What scares the most people is simply just being underwater, all right? Here's how you do it. Step number one, get to the shallow end. Sit down in the shallow end, okay? Your typical shallow end's about 3'6", 4 feet. It should be about 3'6". So when you sit down, the average person should be able to be fully submerged sitting on the bottom of the pool. Let your air out. Sit down there for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20-second increments, okay? You can hold your breath for about 15, 20 seconds. The average person should be able to do this. Just let yourself sit down there, close your eyes, be submerged, and just zen out. Just be nice and calm under the water. Just get used to being underwater. Next step is you want to go down and you want to starfish on the bottom of the pool. You know, it's like we used to, all the kids, any kid that's learning how to swim, they do a starfish on their back. What you want to do is you want to get down to the bottom of the shallow end and then starfish. Just bring your arms out and your legs out. And once again, work on being comfortable under the water, okay? Work on being very comfortable under the water. Next, what you want to do is then you want to move it to the deep end, okay? What you do is start in increments, okay? So like my pool, the pool I swim at, it has a 3'6", then it goes down to a 7-foot, then it goes down to like a 13-foot at the diving end of the pool. So start at the 3'6", go down, then go to the 7-foot. Just be upright, there is a gigantic helicopter going over my house right now. If you hear it on stream, it's a big old helicopter, probably a life flight. So be nice and vertical, and then sink down to the bottom and stand at the 7-foot area. And then just stand there, close your eyes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then jump back up to the surface. Okay? Do this a couple times. Let this be a part of your warm-up or your cool-down, preferably your warm-up, because you'll have a lot more oxygen in your system. So use this time to be much more comfortable in the pool. If you can then graduate to doing it in the 13-foot area, great. If not, just keep going at the 7-foot area. Take this in steps. You don't want to go down to the deep, deep end, because then you can really, really cause a panic attack and you could be in real trouble real fast. Start slow until you're extremely comfortable. Step it down in depths to where you're very comfortable being underwater, okay? Next thing we want to do is we want to do underwater streamline push-offs. This is where you get underwater, you streamline off the wall, you push off the wall in a streamline, okay? There's 2 reasons why we want to do this. Now, everybody should be doing this. Everybody should be doing this. Number 1, you will see if you arch your back backwards. The number 1 culprit of poor body positioning is your lower back arching backwards, getting your face up to the surface. So imagine your hips are right here. Here's your head, here's your legs, okay? So imagine your hips are like a teeter-totter seesaw hinge. That's the center point, okay? Your top goes up, the lower end will go down, all right? So have some fun with this, okay? Here's what you do. Go to the shallow end, float on top of the water, arch your back backwards. Feel your hips drop into the water, okay? Just kind of relax and arch backwards. Watch your body position go straight up. Next, what you want to do is then you want to push your chest down in the water, allow your back to flatten out, and pretend that you're just pushing your chest into the water. You're going to feel your body flatten out very quickly. 1 second. Sorry about that. So you want to have some fun playing around with just being stationary in your body positioning. So what you can do is you can do an underwater push-off streamline, okay? Pushing off underwater, see if you come directly to the surface or if you wind up pushing down, okay? Reason why we want to do this is because we are in 0 gravity underwater. 0 gravity, as close as we're going to get. It's very hard to fully understand what our body position is underwater because, number 1, we cannot see it. Number 2, we have a hard time really discerning what is up and what is down. It takes a lot of practice to be able to get a pop, streamline, do your dolphin kick. Personally, I can get well over halfway across the pool every single time whenever I pretty much... Oh, can I turn my mic volume up? Oh. I'm sorry. I hit go on the wrong mic. Sorry about that, Robert. Thanks for catching that. Yep. Sorry about that. Hard to hear me now. Oh. No. No. I should be okay. Better. Ah, there you go. Gotta love chat delay. Gotta love stream delay. Okay. Sorry about that. I legitimately hit the wrong button. No, actually, I was checking to see if all y'all were paying attention. Okay, no, I'm kidding. No, I legitimately hit the wrong button. I have a 10-channel mixer over here. Here, let me show you behind the scenes here in the Frito Bandito Taqueria. So that's my mixer. This is my mic. This one is the mic that I have for my Zwift streams. So I legitimately just hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong mute button. So all right. So. Pushing off underwater with the proper streamline. What this does is this helps you understand where you are right now. When you tell your brain, I want to push off straight underwater, what does your body do? Okay? That's what you need to figure out. If you can get someone to film you, even better. Remember, if you want to film, shoot it over to me. I'll look it over. I'll give you all the tips you need to get better. Yes, that was a shameless plug. I have no qualms about that. So do some underwater streamlines. I understand, completely worthless for 95% of triathletes. But watching the Collins Cup over the weekend, you see the guys that had a good start and a good streamline, they pop up in front of the other guys. I must say, here's an aside. It was absolutely hilarious to watch Christian Blumenfeld's heat, where Ben Canute and Sam Laidlow. Was it Laidlow? I always forget. There's two Sams, or there's like three Sams. So there's like three Sams. But anyway, you see Christian, just like here, but then the other guys are like, they just left poor Christian in the dust. I felt horrible for the poor guy. But he's also the best cyclist and runner in the world, so it's like, okay, we can't have freaking Superman here. And although I will openly admit the dude looks like he belongs on the Shire. Don't tell him I said that. He'll probably kill me. And then laugh. Laugh because he killed me. Anyway, I digress. But streamlining really only has anything to do with the start. And if you do a reverse sprint and you're actually in a pool. Other than that, streamline doesn't really do anything for triathletes, minus being a really good canary in the coal mine to see if your if your body positioning is actually on point. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I am going to show a picture. Let me show a picture of me swimming. Let's see here. Let's see here. Here we go. There we go. That's a good one. That's a good one. We'll do this one. Okay, let me... I hit up the wrong one before. There you go. All right. So, what we're going to do is we're going to slide me over. Here's me swimming a couple years ago. So, this is good body positioning. So you see legs are near the surface, butt is right at the surface, shoulders are at the surface, forehead is in the water, okay? So right here. Oh, that's right. I'm swimming with a band. Is that a band? Yeah, I think that's a band. Yeah, I'm actually pulling on this one. My wife was taking pictures. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, so that's it. Okay, so that was me pulling with a band. This is me swimming a 100 freestyle. So, can I stop this thing? Yes, I can. All right, so right here, pretty much the entire back, and I do understand this is sprint. This is a sprint. This is not distance. I fully understand this was a 100 freestyle for time. But what you want to be looking at is watch pretty much my entire upper back is out of the water the entire time. My butt is out of the water the entire time. The feet, every kick is getting out of the water until the final 25 when I start dying. I hadn't swam in a pool for like 2 months at this point. 2-3 months at this point. This was in 2020, by the way. So, the legs, the feet, the butt, the upper body. Yeah, I'm starting to sink a little bit because I'm getting tired here. But that essentially is what is considered to be good body positioning. So, how do we get this? How do we get this body positioning? Why do people have so many problems with sinky legs? The number one culprit is not being... Oh, I got like 3 versions of me right now. I gotta duck that down. Hold on. I gotta juggle some windows here. I'm sorry. Here, you know what? Let's get rid of that one. I don't need that one. We'll bring this one here. Sorry about that. Like I said, I am juggling windows right now. There we go. So number one culprit typically is you have an innate fear of the water that you need to reconcile and get over. The only cure for that legitimately is just more time in the pool, more time underwater, become very comfortable underwater. The next thing that is usually a big culprit is reaching here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand up and we're going to talk about this for a minute. All right. Let's move this. Okay. So we're gonna do this here. All right. So typically, people that overreach, they think they're here, but they're actually here. All right. This is straight up right here. We reach up. We remember our pulling session. We reach up, grab a brick, push down. We reach up. Okay. When people reach up, they reach backwards. Okay. Because what they do is they wind up arching their lower back. Here, let me pull this down a little bit. They wind up arching their lower back in order to get their chest more towards the surface, and they wind up legitimately reaching backwards. Okay? So, first thing you want to work on is you want to get in front of a camera or in front of a mirror. If you got like a little video camera, pop your cell phone in selfie mode. Reach up to the sky. When you reach up to the sky, are you actually up vertical, or is your hand positioned behind you? Is it vertical or behind you? All right? You want your hand position to be vertical. You want your back, when you reach up, to be straight. You don't want to reach backwards straight. You want to reach up, 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 up. Okay? Because you're going to reach, push down, reach, push down, reach, push down. Okay? Most people, when they have body positioning issues, they actually overreach. Okay? They overreach backwards when I tell them to put their hand up. So item number 1, reach, learn to reach up. Okay? If you need to, put your back against a wall. Put your back against a wall. Reach up with your hand and then just extend up. So right here, extend up, extend, extend, okay? Both arms, extend, extend. Especially if you do your streamline and you find yourself going straight up to the surface. Here's the key to a good streamline. Left hand out, right hand over left. Take your thumb and pop it over there. If you're really left-handed, probably your left over right is going to be more comfortable. But whatever hand is on top, take your thumb, hook it around your bottom hand. All right? The reason we want to do this, let me see if I can get a little more vertical out of my camera before I start pegging the top. All right. The reason why we want to do this is because if my hand is up here, all I have to do is just reach outward. We just have to squeeze outward. When you squeeze outward, what you're going to do is you're actually going to bring your arms together. Okay? When you run on the beach and you do your dive into the water, this is what you want to be doing right here. You don't want to be doing the Superman dive. The Superman dive, you are going to lose all momentum. You're going to lose everything. What I very much so recommend you learn how to do is just do a simple dive off the side of the pool. If you actually have a rim flow pool, that's where the pool level is the same level as the deck level, you're going to be in a much better position to do this. Just kind of hop in a streamline and do some dolphin kicks underwater, okay? I'm actually working on a way to effectively teach dolphin kick, how to get more power out of the dolphin kick, how to actually teach what muscles should be engaged. I'm theory crafting some ideas with the kids I work with at the high school. So streamline here, okay? All right. Now, there's another reason why you should be streamlining. All right. Here's the other thing that you want to do as well. Let me sit back down real quick. So here's another idea that you can do as well. Practice your streamlines on the floor. You can practice your streamlines on the floor without a lot of issues. So just kind of get yourself a nice towel, get yourself something nice and squishy, put it right where your head is, and then just lay out nice and comfortable on the floor. Get your arms in your streamline position, put your head on the floor. Get your hands maybe about 2 inches off the floor, and then just focus on reaching up. Just reach up. You see my shoulders are shrugging upwards. Just reach up. So what you want to do is you want to practice reaching up. So then you can do this in the pool. Extend your toes back behind you and extend your hands out to the other side of the room. So next, how do we translate all this stuff into the pool? That's probably what you're all thinking, because dry land is all fun and games, but until we can actually do this in the pool, it's kind of worthless. I get it. I understand. I need some help with this one. This is something I have been developing. I used this with a pro triathlete last month, and he had amazing progress very quickly when doing this. Okay, this involves streamline kicking. All right, so here's how you work on this in the pool. Number one, what you want to do is you want to do streamline kicking. You want to do streamline kicking, flutter kick in the streamline position. No kickboard. You don't want any kickboard. If you have to have a kickboard, let me grab my kickboard real quick. If you have to have a kickboard, shout out to Poco Loco in Provo, Utah. Hold it like this, okay? Hold it like this. Put it over your head, okay? Put it over your head and kick. I very much so prefer that you do not use it with a kickboard, because this is really going to help you understand body positioning much faster if you do not use the kickboard as a floating aid. I only recommend the kickboard as a floating aid is if you legitimately cannot make it across the pool on a 25 with freestyle kick alone. If you can't do it, I completely understand. I would like to have some people try this with fins. I have not tried this with fins, and I personally can't do this. I can't try this out myself because my body positioning is too good. I need to get some feedback from people that try this with fins that know they suffer from bad body positioning. I need some crowdsourcing on this. So if anyone can help me out, shoot me an email. I'll tell you exactly what I'd want you to do. I'd want you to try it during your workout. Give me feedback. That's it. I can't promise you. I can't say I'll pay you money to do this. I don't have a budget for this. But if you can help me crowdsource this would really help me be able to help others get better body positioning much faster. Give me a sec. I got a drink. Like I said, I was yelling at kids for an hour straight tonight. And then I got a Twitch stream right after this. This is going to be fun. So here's what you do. You push off with fins or without fins in a streamline kick, okay? So what you want to focus on is you want to focus being as flat of a board as you possibly can. That's what you want to focus on. Your face is going to be down in the water. Your face is looking down at the bottom of the pool. You're going to be kicking just like this. You want to feel your shoulders, your butt, and your feet come out of the water each and every single time. Split this up into 25s. Do a 25 of freestyle kick. Sit at the wall. Think to yourself, could I feel the air on my butt? Could I feel the air on my shoulders? Did my feet come out of the water each and every single time? Okay? If that did not happen, if your feet did not come out of the water, what you need to do is you need to get on the pool deck, stretch out, put a kickboard under your belly, especially if you live somewhere where it's hot. Put a kickboard under your belly, stretch out on the pool deck, and what I want you to do is I want you to do flutter kick, Superman kicks. We talked about this on the kicking episode. I want you to do those Superman kicks because that's going to get you in the right frame of mind to be nice and straight and get your feet and legs on top of the water at the same time, okay? Then I want you to hop back in and I want you to try it again. You need to do this about 425s, okay? Do this about 425s. All you're focusing on, you're not focusing on speed at all. All you're focusing on is having your body as flat of a board as you possibly can on top of the water. No arms, just legs. Okay, next, what you want to do is you want to start reintroducing the arms, all right? You're going to reintroduce the arms one arm at a time. but your arms are not pulling a dang thing. Okay? This is like you got a treadmill going. Okay? You got a treadmill going nice and constant, nice and slow, maybe 2 miles an hour. Got your treadmill going at 2 miles an hour. You take a can, you set it on the treadmill. The treadmill moves it to the back. Okay? And then you grab that can, you put it back on the front. The treadmill is just moving that can backwards. Okay? That is how your arms are going to be. You're going to put your arm in and then just go. Yeah, Aaron, just shoot me an email. I'll give you everything that you need to know in order to do it. Thank you very much, Aaron. So that's all you're doing. All you're doing is you're putting your arm in the water and you're letting it hang out like a dead fish while you move forward, being moved by your kick. So just grab that, push it. Don't push. Allow it to move backwards. All we're focusing on here, all we're focusing on here is getting our arms moving. Just get the arm moving without pushing any force, maintaining the flat as a board posture on the water. Okay? The whole key to this is maintaining everything nice and flat. You maintain everything nice and flat, that's what you want to do. You want to maintain that shoulder. The shoulder that's not pulling needs to be on top of the surface. Your butt should be on top of the surface as well. Your legs should be on top of the surface as well. Okay? Nothing should change here because you're not trying to, grab or pull or anything. All your arm is doing is just moving like a dead marionette arm. That's all it's doing. The water's just drifting it on backwards. Okay? Then you want to do it with the other arm. Okay? I recommend you split it up by either 25s. You do 25 right arm only, 25 left arm only. If you're a little more advanced and you're totally cool with it, go about halfway with the left arm, halfway with the right arm. Okay? Same thing. Just remember, no power on the pull. Just let it drift on back as you kick forward. It is legitimately popping a can on a treadmill and watching it just go right on backwards. Okay. Next, what you want to do is you want to do the same thing but introduce a little bit of power, a little bit of force. Okay? Introduce a little bit of force and see if your body position drops. Okay? What you want to do is you want to figure out if there is a point where you start to add power to your stroke if your body position drops. Okay? Maybe your body position drops because you start bending your knees as you start pulling with your arms. You kind of forget about the whole flat as a board thing and you allow yourself to start arching your back backwards. Realistically, the easiest way that I found to explain this is instead of arching your back backwards, you want to round your shoulders forward just a little bit just to pop that tailbone. Pop the lower back and pop the tailbone up more towards the surface. That's the easiest way I've been able to explain it. It's like I said, do some exercises. Play around a little bit. Try swimming with your chest a little bit more forward in water. Try swimming with your shoulders a little bit more rounded forward. Dink with it. You got to experiment with it. It's very hard for me as a coach to explain to you exactly what you need to do through a live stream. It's tough. It's tough because if I'm with you personally, which by the way, if you live in LA County or San Bernardino County or even Orange or possibly San Diego County, I am available for private lessons. We'll have to specially arrange it, and I'll have to figure out how to make it happen, but I am available for private sessions. Shoot me an email, theferrell@gmail.com. Also, tell your friends if they live in the area. I'm more than welcome to work with anybody. So you got to dink with it. You got to play around with it. You got to be willing to try different things. The biggest thing you also have to realize is your brain is a computer. Your brain is a program. It has been programmed to do certain things by what you've been doing forever. All right? In order to change things, you have to force the program to change. You have to manually rewrite the program. You can't just say, oh, well, I'm just going to do this, and then it's going to work. No. That definitely doesn't happen. I can't tell you how many times I've worked with swimmers where I've said, okay, I want you to move your arm out to the left a little bit while you swim. You're cross-body pulling. I want you to move it out to the left. They say they moved it. I thought I moved it out to the left. No, here's the cell phone footage. I took video of you. You did nothing. Okay? You have to mentally tell yourself to go beyond what you think is necessary. Okay? So if I tell you to arch your back a little bit, you need to pretend you're down here. you need to tell your mind that you're overblowing what you think you should be doing. If you think you should round your chest about an inch, do it 6 inches, okay? If you need to correct your hand, move it out maybe 6 inches, move it out 2 feet, all right? It's easier to dial it back in than it is to actually get it extended out in the first place, okay? You need to be willing to tinker with your stroke. You got to be willing to tinker with the mechanics. Essentially, to finish, and that's pretty much all I have for body positioning. I'm going to kind of wrap up and summarize everything. If there was a specific thing that I did not hit, and if you're in chat and you want to know something specific about body positioning, this is your last call. Remember, if you're on a VOD, you're more than welcome to post comments at any time, and I will get around to answering them when I can. I do actively monitor the comments on these videos, and I'm more than welcome to DM you, get on a Zoom, FaceTime, team session, and discuss these things with you in person. I just got to set it up with me before I am, blah, blah, blah. So, yes. So, body positioning will save you a lot of effort. It'll save you a lot of consternation. It will truly save you a lot of time. Body positioning truly does one main thing. Well, it does 2 main things. One main thing is it reduces drag. First and foremost, that is the reason why we want body positioning. It's the same reason why all bikers should be going to a bike fitter. You should go to a bike fitter, someone that knows what the heck they're doing, get you fit on your bike. And unlike a bike fit, for body positioning, you're not really in danger of hurting yourself if you have bad body positioning. So that's the number one thing you got to understand about bad body positioning. You're not in danger of hurting yourself. If you have really poor recovery technique, you could possibly hurt yourself. If you have really poor pulling technique, you could possibly hurt yourself. But bad body positioning, you're just making life harder. That's all you're doing. There is zero worry of you getting injured because of bad body positioning. You may have a sore lower back, but realistically, that's about it. Getting a better body positioning is going to get you more on top of the water. You're going to swim a lot faster very quickly. The other thing it does is it especially sets your legs up to kick a lot more efficiently. Okay. Remember, I talk about force vectors. I have a master's in civil engineering. I know physics. You want that force vector of your kick going behind you. So when you kick, you want your kick to be up here near the surface of the water. If your legs are down here and you're kicking here, you're shooting that vector down into the water. You're not getting the full benefit of pushing that water backwards, okay? So that's where, and I understand, yes, the no-kick triathlon people, I hear you. It's okay. Embrace the kick. It is glorious. And it's a lot smaller than you think it is. That's the big thing about kicking. And I know I totally went over this in the kicking episode, but realistically, your kick in triathlon does not need to be near as hard as a pool swimmer, and you can get a lot of benefit out of a very conservative kicking pattern that is not a 2-beat kick. I'm actually working with a pool swimmer to get rid of his 2-beat kick, and it's just glorious. I love it. I hate it. Oh, crap. Totally spilled over myself. This is what happens when I screw around too much. So, all right. So that's pretty much my whole explanation on body positioning. Understand that it's mostly caused by our innate fear of the water and by our lower back arching backwards. Use a mirror on dry land. Learn how to reach up towards the sky. Learn how to lengthen on the water. Pretend the wall you pushed off from is the ground and the other wall is the sky. Learn how to be nice and flat on top of the water. Learn to be nice and flat on top of the water by doing freestyle kick on top of the water in a streamlined position. Then learn to add the arms, learn to maintain that position while pulling little by little, get your power back up to where it needs to be. Realistically, if you start to work on body positioning, I would expect, if you do this methodology, I would probably expect maybe 2 weeks to really start to grasp the idea of being nice and flat on the water. And then probably another month's worth of training, you should probably solidify that into your muscle memory. So that's it for body positioning for tonight. I think next week, what are we going to talk about next week? We'll talk race strategies next week. I know this is a topic that comes up pretty frequently on this stream in particular, but that's mainly because it's really hard to understand what a good race strategy is for a long distance swim, just because you don't have a power meter. You don't have a power meter. It's not efficient to look at your watch and see what your pace is. So there's a vastly different way to learn and train your race pace while in the pool, and we will talk about that next week. So anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. One final pitch for my virtual swim technique sessions. Shoot me an email, theferrell@gmail.com. Take some video of yourself, send it to me. The more footage, the better. If you're having someone film you underwater, try and be at least one full swim lane away. It's kind of hard when one person's in one lane, the swimmer's in one lane, and they're really close. You just don't get that much time to view the footage. Try and be at least one lane away. There's a couple other things too. So just let me know. Shoot me an email. I'd love to work with you. Also, if you live in the San Diego area, I am looking to set up some sort of a training day down at SDSU. I found out that they have open pool hours on Saturdays from 10 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. So I would love to set up a day with all the Team Zooters and all your friends that live down in Southern California. Hopefully, I would cap it at 10 to 15 people max per session. So if you're interested in that, I got one person in the Team Zoot SoCal that's already messaged me, not messaged me, that responded to the post I made down there about it. So yeah, I would love to try and do a group session. This will be honestly my first one that I've done. I would host it at my local pool, but unfortunately there's some bureaucrat issues going on in my local school district. So until all of that is ironed out, hopefully it should be ironed out by next year. Next year, I would love to host a training session at my pool. We can get as many people as we can. Come over on a Saturday. Love to work with you. So yeah, so that's all I got. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you once again to Team Zoot. Thank you for allowing me to have this platform. Thank you for letting me raid your Facebook group. I truly do appreciate being able to share this knowledge with you. Like I've said many times before, swimming was my life. Entirety of high school, entirety of college. It shaped me in the person I am today. I do dearly love the sport of swimming, and I am so grateful to still be in it with triathlon, be able to, have all my knowledge that I've gained through many years of swimming, be able to share it with you. Big props to Mark Goddard for giving me the green light to be able to do this as well. So until then, my friends, continue training on. We've started a new slogan with my local swim team, that we are the Body Improvement Club. Just remember, whenever you are training, whenever you feel like giving up, whenever you feel like quitting, just understand, the Body Improvement Club, we believe in you. So that's it for me. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'll catch you next time. Next episode will be race strategies. Hope to see you sometime next week. And until later, my friends, I'm sorry. I will be moving over to Twitch, twitch.tv/theferrell1. Would love to have you there. Going to be playing some Tiny Tinas with some friends of mine. So it's good-natured shenanigans. So that's it. I'm out of here. Until later, my friends. Good night, Isaiah Norris. Wherever you are, I'm out of here. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.